Hello, I'm Trevor Williamson with Creative Boy News. A recent poll has shown that 3 out of every 4 viewers of this video are currently struggling with getting quality green screen footage. Reports of green spill and inaccurate lighting have plagued amateur videographers and professionals alike. Luckily, myself and Tommy are at Creative Boy Studios with some tips, tricks, and solutions to solve your problems. Tommy, Trevor. All right, folks, welcome to another Creative Boy tutorial.
Yeah.
My name is Trevor, and I am here as always with
Thomas.
And today we're gonna talk about green screen, chroma keying, and also gonna get into virtual sets. So
Virtual sets. So these topics are really vast, but we're gonna try and cram it, make it a little bit smaller for you guys to follow through.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I say, just jump into it and we'll talk about green screen.
Right.
What is a green screen? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We'll be using a screen that is green. And using green screen, you're going to, the main point about green screen, you'd be able to select that color. You would key it out, which when we say keying, that's just selecting a color and editing it, or in this case, in most cases with a green screen, removing it so that way you can replace that with the footage of your choice. Absolutely, you got a lower budget, can't afford to fly out to California for your shoot, but you can probably afford to buy some green cloth, green backdrop, and if with the necessary skills, you lighting everything right, it'll look exactly like you're there.
Right. So just as you saw in the video that we shown you guys earlier in this video, it was a virtual scene that we did here in the studio, but we couldn't do it without the green screen. So behind us, we had the green screen. So Trevor was sitting right here in the same location, and we developed a little set, which we're gonna get there on the virtual set, and we made it look like he's a reporter on CNN. And I also acted like I was in Hollywood, and I was reporting from Hollywood. So green screen gives you the ability to do all kinds of stuff, anything you could dream of. You want to put yourself in California and you can't drive to California, all you got to do is find a video and just replace the background with it, and you're good to go. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys saw the video, we made it look really real, very believable, and you wouldn't even know. And as you can see from the video, I was even trying to move my hand, and it was keyed really well. And those are the things that we're gonna talk about in this video, how you're gonna get your green screens right. And also, we're gonna talk about other things.
All right, so I mean, I guess the main question, if you don't know anything about green screen, or even myself when I was doing research for this video, the main question is why green?
Why green?
And to put it simple, because green does not exist unless you have a weird skin condition.
Right.
The color green doesn't exist in skin tones.
Right.
So that's what allows you to, again, select that color and not have it affect the subject in the video. As far as, again, you're using a green screen so you can key out that color.
Right.
But it works with any color. You can use a pink screen, a red screen, but if you're using the wrong color, again, that's going to affect your subject. You're gonna have to do things like mask things out. But the color green, again, it doesn't exist in skin tones, and as long as whoever you're filming isn't wearing green, which is, kind of was an issue for us, as we might show. I think we had a little video for that.
Right.
But as long as your subject isn't wearing green, nothing else is green, it's pretty much the go-to. They also use blue screens.
Yeah, blue screens in Hollywood
as an alternative.
A lot. Also in Squid Games, if you guys know Squid Games, pretty much they shot most of the scenes on a blue screen background. and they were able to do the same chroma keying that we're talking about. So Hollywood, I have, over the years have been using green screen and blue screens, but our target today is going to be the green screen. That's the most common one. That's the most cheapest one you can actually get. So it's the same thing. The same analogy is the same. But with the concept of the green screen, you could do, endless stuff like the Squid Games. You guys enjoyed the video a lot, the movie a lot, and it's making a lot of numbers. But not just Squid Games. There's a lot of movies. There's a lot of effects that you can green screen can allow you to do, which we're not going to talk about it in this video. We're just showing you what else you can do in video production. We actually not going to also show you how to do the green screen by itself because we don't have any computers here to show you, but we are going to talk about it so you know that there's something called green screen that can allow you to do what we're talking about. All right, so next is, what is it? So when do you use it?
So, again, when you use it is when you don't have, not necessarily I say, but it's a big thing, but also not just the money, but the convenience. You can be filming something. If you have two people in two different places, you can't get them together. Some movies you've seen some scenes with two actors and actresses who are interacting, who aren't even in the same room.
Right.
It really just, it opens you up to shoot in places that you wouldn't have, again, the money or the budget to be able to do. Yeah. And just allows you to creatively, again, have access to
different things,
places that
different things.
Might not be possible.
So in Hollywood, most of the times they do some sort of layering. They use softwares like After Effects and different. And if you go really deep into green screen, you will find object tracking. You find tracking and all these things. Movies, there's all sort of movies that use green screen tracking, but we're not going to talk about tracking. But like I said, like Trevor said, it's going to allow you to do things that you typically don't have the money to do. So like the set that you guys saw, this looks like a CNN set. This obviously looked like a studio because we have the green screen doing the key, and then we are able to even manipulate the camera angles and also put a background of choice. You also see those windows and those glasses over there that look so real. You can see even the lights. If you zoom in the video, you can see light reflections and all that. Those are all fake things that we put behind to make it look believable, but cutting down costs. Because if we were to go to one of these studios and rent that out, it wouldn't be cost effective to our YouTube channel that has not been monetized yet. It doesn't really make sense. But we have our green screen backdrop, our paper, which I guess I'll get into our materials, but we have our green paper, and we're able to transport ourselves where we want to be currently without spending. It's like a transporter. You can transport it anywhere. All right, so we've been talking about the green screen. Quickly, we're going to show you how the green screen look like. The green screen, it's not a special screen, just to let you know. It's just a green material. So any green material, if you can even dye yourself green, you can key yourself out. And by this time, I know you know about keying. Keying is done in softwares like Premiere Pro, Logic, even in what's the name of this software?
Eventually vMix that we're using now.
vMix. You can do it on
Ecamm.
I'm not even talking about green. Actually, I'm talking about the Zoom. Zoom. Come to think of it. So Zoom even allows you to green screen. So green screen has come a long way, and literally this is the material. This is the material for any type of green screen.
Just a cloth from Walmart.
This is what, $30?
No, not even. That's just a yard, but not even. If you wanted a full size, it'd be like $30.
This is it. So I'm pretty sure
we have a board that we've used. I might be able to find it, but we literally just spray painted it, and very poorly. Spray paint. It's just about green paper.
So in this video, we're not going to show you the treatment. I'm just showing you the materials that you can use to key. Trevor brought up this board that we just spray painted green. Anything green of a deepest green can allow you to take the background off and the object remains, so you can put a different background or shoot one. So that's the material, just simple material, and you can actually go and even get a curtain, and it can work with that. In our video, we used Savage papers. You can actually Google that, Savage papers. It comes in different colors, and we just got a green Savage paper that we're using for green screen. So we're not Hollywood, we don't have a lot of money. So we just got that, and it works perfectly fine. You can see the key was that good that even when I passed my hands, it still keyed out pretty well, and I was still sitting, in the middle of the video pretty well. The Hollywood sound behind me, the Hollywood sound was just a picture that I got on Google, and I got a whole production going on. So if you're working with a small budget, green screen is the way to go.
Absolutely. So with that being said, while it's definitely cost effective, it's definitely, I would say, an easier thing to jump into, but there are a lot of kind of pitfalls. It's easy to do, but it's not easy to do correctly. It's not easy to do right. So I guess, kind of go into some tips. And the number one tip for green screen, and we'll put the link, we might have even talked about it, would be lighting for your green screen. You want to make sure your green screen backdrop is evenly lit. It needed to be a soft, smooth, seamless surface. If there are shadows in the corners or anything like that, it's going to make it so when you try and key it out, it's not going to be smooth, and it's again going to affect your keying.
Exactly.
And it's going to mess things up.
Right, and you're not going to get a good picture. You're not going to get a good video. Whatever you're trying to key out wouldn't come out right. So make sure your lighting is good. And we have a video that we did on lighting. So if you want to know about lighting, how to actually set a green screen up, you can watch that video. And if you do the 3-point lighting, you should be able to key pretty well. And like I mentioned, there's softwares that can do that. There's Premiere Pro, there's Logic Pro, there's Final Cut Pro, there's Premiere Pro, there's all streaming CB, what's the name, vMix, and also any streaming software can actually key. There's another software that we've been using for a while. It's called Ecamm. Ecamm is able to even do virtual kind of green screen, where you're actually keying and streaming live onto your computer or on the web. So there's a lot of things, and like I even mentioned, that Zoom also does it as well. So if you have a Zoom meeting, you want to surprise your managers, go get some cloth, put it behind you, get some 2 lights that can work well, key it out, and put any background that you want, and you can wow your managers. So in a nutshell, you can do it pretty much with any modern software.
And so also, again, an important thing as far as lighting goes, not just lighting the green screen well, but lighting your subject well. So if you may have noticed, when we had Tommy out in Hollywood, the background was sunny, a little bit warmer. So you want to make sure, again, if you're in the studio, if the scene that you're going to be keying in is a warmer scene, you want to have warm lights in the studio. Because if he's somewhere bright and sunny and it's filmed dark, or it's filmed cool, it's not gonna match. People are gonna, it won't look right. It'll look uncanny. So that's a good thing as well, especially if you plan on using a green screen, you're planning on keying, figure out what your background is going to be in advance. So that way when you're lighting your scene, you can make sure that the lighting that you're using matches what you're going to replace it with. And it's really those little things that, again, make sure that everything matches up, and you're able to fool the audience into thinking.
Right. So I noticed that a lot of people do green screen really, really wrong, where the key, and they're able to key it well, but then they'll put like a regular picture behind you. You want to make sure that you look at the picture. There's some proportional things that you got to put in place. You got to make sure that the picture that you get in matches with the subject. It's very important. But I see people do that all the time. If you're replacing the picture with a blank, maybe color background, you don't have to worry about that.
Sure.
But if you want to replace, let's say you want to put me in Washington, right? And the Washington Monument, let's say it's a monument, and the monument is so big, and I'm so small, and you want people to believe that? That cannot work well, and that's not believable. The whole idea of green screen is for people to believe.
Yeah, it's
the
a trick.
clip. It's a trick.
You're
The
fooling
news
people.
thing that we did is so believable that if I told you that I was working in CNN or Trevor was working in CNN, you will believe that. So if you, if you discard the cost of actually getting it believable, then you shouldn't even use green screen. You should just use your regular background. So make sure you pick the background that you want to replace. Make sure it matches. And there's some tricks to that. Make sure you look on YouTube. We're also going to put some videos on actually showing you how to actually key, and probably do a video on how we did virtual sets, and so you can see how we match it. And even on the virtual set, you could see that we had a kind of landscape picture that was taken, and whenever we zoom into a certain ratio, when we zoom into Trevor's, somewhere in a portrait scene, you can see everything matches pretty well because we want people to believe it. So if you're not doing green screen to make people believe you, then don't do it. But it helps you cut off budget, and it helps you kind of bring out a really good production. And like I said, even CNN, BBC, and all these guys use green screen for their production. All right, so next up we're going to talk about virtual sets. So virtual sets is basically a technology that helps you mimic studios, real-time studios. So if you go to CNN studios, if you're somebody that can afford that, it kind of helps you create your own virtual set. So like I said, it helps you mimic a studio kind of background, a studio scene. Virtual set softwares help you also slot in different kind of zoom ranges of the set itself, so you can manipulate your camera scene. So in the one that I did with Trevor, you can see that I can go back and you can see the full studio, which is all fake, and you can zoom in and see the second scene, which is a little bit zoomed in, and you can also zoom straight to the face. It's all mimicking a studio background. So it kind of falls under green screen chroma keying, same thing where you're replacing it with a regular footage, like how we did with Hollywood. And the only difference is with virtual sets, you're actually getting real-time studio kind of scenery. So virtual sets are like works that way. If you're somebody that's trying to get into YouTube and you don't have money, and you're trying to get into some sort of streaming, like if you're a YouTuber or you're a newscaster, or trying to do some sort of show that look like a studio, you want a studio kind of scene, you can use virtual sets to do that. I don't know how deep I can explain it, but that's how I can simply explain it for you to understand. There's a lot that go into it, but like I said, we will have time to do a tutorial to actually show you how virtual sets are set up.
Right, yeah, and I mean the good thing with virtual sets, and you also can chroma key, but the best thing I think for virtual sets is that it allows you to do that in real time. Again, if you have a producer, an editor behind the scenes while you're recording, it allows you to avoid and sort of sidestep a lot of the post-production work.
Right.
If you have a production or a virtual set that allows you to, again, sort of zoom in, zoom out, add those camera angles, so that way, once you're done recording, you might have to clean up a little bit, but it gets rid of a lot of that post-production work.
Right.
It makes life a little easier.
It makes life a little bit easier. And as you can see, I can give you an examples of virtual sets. Some of the virtual sets are so realistic that you wouldn't even know. ESPN use a lot of virtual sets. CNN use a lot of virtual sets. BBC use a lot of virtual sets. All these companies, even there's really large, production companies and news media companies even use virtual sets. So if you're a beginner and you all open to this type of technology, it's gonna help you cut down cost, and it's gonna help you produce whatever you wanna produce. So if you're somebody that let's say you're a doctor and you want to have a show about medicine, you know, after getting all your visuals, you can do virtual set to cut down cost and make it still look nice, like you in an actual studio. So that's all with virtual sets, and you've seen it in the front video that we posted before, you know, this scene. Trevor in the news, you know, Trevor in his suit, reading the news, and me being a reporter. It's actually funny, and even in, you know, this virtual set, you can see it in music videos as well. Some of the music videos in the 90s have stuff like that, even now. So you can incorporate that in actual different things. You can see virtual sets being mimicked in movies as well. There's a lot of movies that you can see a newscaster reading news. They're not actual real-time newscasters. They're using virtual sets to mimic the TV studio scenery.
That's right, absolutely. I mean, I think that kind of covers it.
Right.
Hopefully, you know, we've done a halfway decent job of explaining things to you. If there's anything you think we missed that you would like us to cover in a future video, that's what the comment section is for.
Yep, we can do it as well. So in this video, I believe that you by now should know what chroma keying is. You should know when to use green screen, where to buy green screen. I don't think we actually mentioned that, but I said salvage paper. What should come into your head is Amazon. Amazon is where we get everything. So if you just type green screen on Amazon, you should have some green screen backgrounds for you. And you can choose to get a paper, or you can choose to get a material. I don't think we walked them through it. You can get a material like this, like what we showed earlier, or you can get a salvage paper, that's like a really blank green paper, and you can use that as well. You can also use boards and get paint and paint it green. However you will get your green behind you is what matters. Also make sure that you take into consideration your lights, how you lighten. Make sure you use the 3-point lighting. You have your top lights, your key lights, and all these lights to help you get a good key. In the next videos, we're going to show you how to actually get the green screen right, because it's all mathematical. You want to make sure you dial in numbers right to get the key right. You know, so it's very important to consider that as well. But that's a whole new video. Trevor, you have anything to add to?
I sure don't, because that's a whole new video. So to end this video, I'll say, my name is Trevor. I'm here with Tommy, and that's all we got. Like, subscribe, please.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. You guys have been so helpful.
Love you.
Subscribing and watching the videos. You guys follow us on Instagram. Make sure you stay tuned, because we have a lot of tutorials. We're also going to be doing tutorials on how to shoot music videos. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be doing some projects when the weather gets a little bit better. We're in Washington, so the weather is a lot colder right now. So we can't really we're doing a lot of in-studio stuff. When the weather gets better, we will go out and do a lot of music videos. So stay tuned for more tutorials, and cheers, we're out of here.
Yeah, cheers, we got nothing but stuff. Thanks.
Empty cup.
Cheers.